When was the last time you sat in silence? True silence, without listening to anyone's voice but your own. I'm not talking about physical silence. I'm talking about that rare moment when your mind isn't processing other people's opinions, when you're not absorbing advice, tips, reviews, analyses, when you simply exist with your own thoughts. If you stop to think just now and realize this is rarer than it should be, maybe it's time we reclaim something we've lost without noticing. The mental space to hear our own inner wisdom. We live in extraordinary times. Never before in human history have we had access to so many perspectives, so many voices, so many opinions. From the moment we wake up until we close our eyes to sleep, we're bombarded by thousands of thoughts that aren't ours. Open your phone, and there they are. Tips on how to live better, analyses on how to invest your money, opinions on how to relate, how to dress, how to think. It's an endless stream of you should. The best way is try this, avoid that. And you know what happens? Our minds become an echo of other people's voices. We start thinking we need an external opinion for every decision, as if our own inner compass got lost amid all the noise. Stop for a moment and ask yourself, how many of your beliefs actually came from within? How many of your choices are truly yours and not influenced by the last article you read or the last video you watched? I'm not suggesting we should live isolated or ignore other people's knowledge. Learning from those who know more is fundamental, but there's a subtle yet important difference between seeking wisdom when we need it and living in a constant flood of other people's opinions. Our brains weren't designed to process thousands of different perspectives every day. Imagine our ancestors. They had access to maybe 50, 100 people's opinions in their entire lifetime. And us? We process that before our morning coffee. It's like trying to listen to music being played by 50 orchestras at the same time. In the end, you can't distinguish any melody. Your own inner music, it gets lost in the chaos. And then we wonder why we feel anxious, why we feel lost, why making simple decisions has become so complicated. How can we have mental clarity when our mind is a battlefield of conflicting opinions? Mental minimalism isn't about rejecting all forms of learning or isolating yourself from the world. It's about creating space for your own voice to emerge amid the noise. It's like taking off headphones after hours of loud music. Suddenly, you can hear the sounds around you that were always there, including the sound of your own inner voice. Imagine making decisions based on what you genuinely feel, on what makes sense for your life context, not on what you read you should feel. Because here's something fundamental. Your life has nuances that only you know. Your challenges, your circumstances, your values, your story. An opinion that's perfect for someone else's life might be completely wrong for yours. And it's okay to listen to other perspectives. The problem isn't opinions themselves, but when we lose our ability to filter them through what really matters to us. When we forget to ask, does this work for me? For my reality? for where I actually want to go. It doesn't have to be radical. It can be as simple as creating small moments of disconnection. Moments where you're not consuming any content, where you're not processing other people's thoughts. It could be during a walk, taking a shower, or simply sitting in silence. In these moments, you can start to feel what is truly yours. Practicing what I call conscious filtering. Before incorporating any advice or opinion, stopping and asking, does this resonate with my life experience? Does it make sense for where I am now? Or am I just following it because it sounds like a good idea in theory? Respecting your own pace and process. Maybe you need more time to make decisions. Maybe your way of growing is different. Maybe what works for others simply isn't your path, and that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Have you ever noticed how some of your best ideas come when you're not trying? It's because in those moments, you're not processing anyone else's opinions. You're finally alone with your own thoughts. There's a wisdom in you that's been cultivated through all the years of your life experience, through the joys you've felt, the difficulties you've overcome, the lessons you've learned firsthand. This wisdom knows your context, your limitations, your real possibilities. It knows what's essential for you, not for the world, not for what's trendy, not for what everyone else is doing, for you. And that difference is fundamental, because when you understand what's truly essential in your life, other people's opinions become tools, not commands. You can listen to them, consider them, and then consciously choose what serves and what doesn't serve your current moment. When we start creating mental space, something interesting happens. It's not a dramatic change. It's something more subtle. Like when you clean a cluttered house, suddenly you can breathe better, even if you don't understand exactly why. You start trusting your own perceptions more. Your decisions become more natural, less tortured. You stop seeking constant validation for every small choice. And most importantly, you develop the ability to distinguish between what's essential for you and what's just noise, between what truly needs your attention and energy, and what are just distractions disguised as importance. Paradoxically, when you stop seeking opinions all the time, the truly important ones become clearer. You develop discernment. You know when to seek advice and when to trust yourself. You know how to filter what reaches you through the lens of what really matters in your journey. Maybe the most radical thing we can do today is simply be quiet. Not seek another opinion, another piece of advice, another perspective. Just exist with our own thoughts for a moment. Your mind, when it's not busy processing other people's ideas, has space to create, to reflect, to simply be. It's not about always having the right answers. It's about having enough space in your mind to ask the right questions. Your questions, with your own voice. So maybe today, you can try a few minutes of true mental silence. Not empty silence, but silence full of possibilities. The silence where your own wisdom can finally speak. Because in the end, the most important opinion you can hear might just be your own. And it's there, waiting patiently to be listened to.